Hi everyone, Vanessa Coppes here, excited to launch with you today Hispanic Heritage Month. More excited because my guest is none other than my mother, Marilyn Borbón, the founder of Three Amigos in the Dominican Republic.
Okay,
Marilyn! Or should I call you mom?
you are just something else, Vanessa. Whatever.
Let's get started. So, how did you get started in the industry of food?
Of food service?
Yes.
Oh, well, I've been cooking almost all my life. I started to cook when I was like 10 years old. Once I could reach the countertop, my mom made me teach me how to do several things. And it's like I started feeling a passion for cooking, and mostly cakes and sweets and desserts.
I remember.
Okay. So, yeah, after that, I decided to try something else, like snacks, pastelitos, that kind of stuff for birthday parties.
Huh?
And I always cook, even though it wasn't for a event or something like that, for the family reunions and things like that. I always cook.
Yeah, you've always been the cook. That's
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
what would you say is your favorite part of doing what you do, and what would you say is the least favorite part of what you do?
Well, the favorite part is when people come to you and tell you, "Oh my God, what did you put in this?" And this tastes so good. I mean, this is better than the last time we had it. Things like that. Uh, the the worst part is the kitchen is too messy, and I hate washing dishes. I always had. When I was a teenager, my mom used to, since we were six girls in the house. So she decided that one week I will be in the kitchen and my other sister would be cleaning the house and the other one would be folding the clothes and things like that. So when it was my week in the kitchen, I ended up almost with no clothes or shoes or things like that because I will trade my jeans or shirts or shoes to one of my sisters just for have her to wash the dishes for me. I hate washing dishes.
So you bartered your way and you negotiated your chores,
Yes, I did. Not once, not twice.
but all the time.
Almost every time. Yeah.
What would you say over the years? Because I just turned 42, and as long as I can remember, you've always been in the kitchen in some way, somehow. I think I inherited a little bit of it, not a lot, because I don't enjoy it as you do, but I do it, and when I do it well. But what would you say over the years has been the best advice that you've received, especially now that you have an established business? You founded Three Amigos. How many years ago has Three Amigos been established?
The Amigos been going on for the last 3.5 years.
Yeah. So in that
And
process, what has been the best advice that you've received? Because it's one thing to cook at home for your family, your friends, another thing to turn it into a business.
well, I learned from a chef, a Japanese chef,
Mm-hmm.
that you have to feel the passion for cooking, for the kitchen, or for whatever you do, because it's really hard to be working, doing something that you really don't enjoy doing. So when people ask me uh, advice about starting a new business, I always tell them, if you are going to open A&B food and beverage business, you need to make sure first that you like that. Secondly, you need to know about the business you're trying to start, because you may you may have people working for you, but if you don't know how this is supposed to be done, then you're gonna have to accept whatever your employees tell you. Oh, look, this is so good, this is great, look how nice the presentation is. And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, because you don't know nothing about it.
You don't know anything.
You need to know, yes. So to me, the most important thing is to feel the passion for what you're doing.
That's great. That's great advice, because I think that applies to anything that you decide to do in life. What do you think is the biggest misconception that people have about you?
That I have a bad temper sometimes, and that I can be really hard when I find out that they are cheating on me or that they did me wrong, basically. Other than that, I'm a nice guy. I'm nicey.
Yes, everyone. My mother has always called herself Nicey, and if you remember, that's back in the day. Who from what band was that? I can't remember because I'm Nicey. I can't remember the singer, but I know there was a song that was called Nicey. I'll look it up for our readers to follow along. Because we are in Hispanic Heritage Month, I wanted to bring you in and spotlight you because, of course, you're my mom. And what better way to not just highlight a Hispanic business owner, but also my mother. What would you say with regards to the Hispanic heritage? I mean, and you've had an experience of living here in the United States, and I live here now, and there's like this cross of cultures with our families. What do you say is some of the, like a big highlight of the Hispanic heritage of our culture that we've been able to bring in, like to Josh's family, to us, that we've been able to share? What can you say?
Well, we like to share things a lot with family and to spend time together. And if it's like yesterday, I was out almost all day, and my sister Fidencia called me and said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm really in your area." She said, "Well, you have some sancocho here. Stop by and get it." And hey, 30 minutes after that, I was there. If it's like I cook something in my house that I know that they like, I will call them and tell them, "Listen, your habichuelas con dulces are here, or your sancocho, when I'm the one cooking the sancocho, is here." And we like to get together like almost every weekend, everybody, and eat and make fun of each other. We have good times, but we are not, as we grow older, we don't lose that, doing that.
Yeah, but food is a big part of that, right? Food is a big component.
Food is always there.
Especially of Latin cultures. I mean, I think in general, food always gathers people, but for us, especially even when I go and visit you and I go back home and I visit, there's always food in the mix, because
it has to.
My aunt, who knows that I love eggplants, always makes eggplants the special way.
Every time you come down, she makes the eggplants for you. Every time your brother comes down, she makes the sweet plantain fried with cheese inside. It's like that. It's just like that.
It's something that's expected of our culture. How would you say that, because you've had experiences living here in the United States, and now that you're back home, but how the appreciation for Hispanic culture has shifted? Do you see that it's changed dramatically? Do you see that it's changed a bit? Like, what can you say? What can you speak to with regards to that?
For real, I started to check a group in Facebook, which is the name of the group is Dominican Cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that Dominicans that had kids in the United States and they grew there, kids know what do we eat. Kids know what we eat. They know. Sometimes it's like they get somehow confused about some name of the dishes, but they eat the same food we eat here in the Dominican Republic. But they have introduce some new elements to what it is. But basically, the core of what they eat is Dominican food for dinner. And if they see something that is very Dominican in a picture, people start asking, can you tell me what did you get that? So I can go and get it, because where I live, I don't get so many Dominican products. So people keep that.
They keep the traditions going. I know that for me,
Yes.
I live in New
Yes.
Jersey and my husband works in the city. Depending on where he is, we can get certain food products here in New Jersey. There's not a lot of places where you can get like authentic plantains, obviously, but you know that your grandchildren love salami and tostones. That's like,
Oh, I know. Yes, I know.
and you give it to them every time they see you, because that's literally what they can eat for breakfast
Yes.
if they had the opportunity.
Yes,
Um,
yes, that's what it is.
what piece of advice can you give to anyone who is either looking to start? I mean, you already spoke about passion, but it's, I think, especially with keeping with traditions, not just Dominicans, but Hispanic traditions as a whole. You know, what do you think, some words of wisdom that you could give to anyone, especially now that there are so many fusions of families? Of course, like I've said repeatedly, you know, I'm Dominican, but I'm married to an American man who likes his rice and beans just like the next one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and he likes
Well,
sancocho, and he likes our habichuela con dulce. I'm making a tres leches this weekend for a dessert that I'm bringing over to a friend's house. So there's like little elements. And it's just always so interesting how it seems to always be food that seems to be like the common thread. But what can you share, like if it's a new family, that to keep those traditions going?
well, they need to transfer what they know about their country to the new generations. And that when it comes to family, and let them know that it's really important, because food can get us united and reunited. Who doesn't like to eat?
Yeah.
So if you tell people, family members and friends, we're gonna have this and that, listen, if you have to be in charge of making sure that that's gonna happen, then you're gonna have to do that every 2 weeks or every week if it's possible. Listen, bring that, guys, come down. We're gonna have this and that. If you want, bring a dessert or something. But you're gonna get. Sorry, you're gonna keep family together. And sometimes maybe not everybody will come, but they will know that that's going on. And for the next time, they're gonna make an effort to be there. And when it comes to starting a business, my best advice to entrepreneurs is you don't have to be an angel. You don't have to be the devil with your employees. But I can tell you the best investment you can do for your business is in the human resources. If you treat your people right, they will do you right. Because somebody that is working and feels happy and he knows if he has a problem, she has a problem, and talk to the boss, and that problem will be solved. But you have to help your people, the people that is working for you, the people that you mostly depend on.
That's amazing advice, and I hope that I've carried that over too with my own business. What I was going to add to this was, before, when we were talking about traditions, I find it, you know, it warms my heart whenever I mention, you know, like my kids like empanadas, and that's something that you introduced them to.
Mhm.
I mentioned tres leches. Tomas is a tres leches lover. He could have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Samuel loves salami and tostones. Josh, habichuela con dulce. I mean, he even wants to have that for Christmas, which is crazy. But with regards regards to the traditions, you know, what I find really interesting and over time that has found is like we get to celebrate two different holidays in two different ways. And something that I've done for my family is that we do like every other, we'll have a traditional American Christmas, and then the following year we'll have a traditional Dominican Christmas, so that they can
That's good.
experience, you know, both sides.
That's good and fair.
Yeah. So, and we'll get to pick, like if we do Thanksgiving, we'll do it either you know, Thanksgiving is a traditionally American holiday, but
Yeah.
we'll pick depending on what we want to eat, because sometimes Josh will want to have pernil. He'll want to have, you know, a good moro or alogrio or whatever that may look like. So I make sure that we piggyback and we alternate so that it's infused there. What can you say, because of course I have, you know, further intel with you because you're my mom, you know, that you're most proud of your children with regards to how we've represented the Hispanic culture, because we are three brothers and sisters, you know, you have three kids, my two older brothers and myself. One of us lives in you know, I live here, my middle brother lives in Miami, and then my older brother lives in the Dominican Republic. But have we kept up the, you know, how we held the torch, not just of our heritage, but of our family? You can say yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I am really proud of all of my kids because even though I have so very hard time raising them when they were growing up, because they grew with me most of the time. Uh, I have to say that the lessons that I told them and the advices and sometimes the whoopings. Yes, yes, I do sometimes. And listen, everybody became professionals, nice, sensitive, educated, well-mannered people. My kids are people that care about their family and people that they know. They care about humanity in general. They get mad about the mess or the problems that are going on with the medio ambiente,
with the environment, yes.
with the environment, with the people that mistreat or abuse animals and things like that. So I like that about my kids, and that all of them are very hard workers too, and I love all of them.
Well, I think we learned that from you. So how can people reach out to you? How can people learn more about you? How can people learn more about Three Amigos? I know that you, although you're in the Dominican Republic, you're always sharing quick recipes online. How can we find you, Mom?
Oh, well, Three Amigos has a page in Instagram, which is just like that. Three Amigos, Comida Mexicana. And I have my own for my catering services and things like that. And that is LB Food Service.
Yes.
LB Food Service. And Instagram and Facebook too.
Mom, it was a pleasure talking to you and having you on the other side of the interview table.
Yeah.